Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. We are doing this live question and answer session on Halloween, Saturday, 10/31, October 31st. I have some seated questions we will do, but just so you know, at one rental at a time YouTube channel, I look to do a live Q&A every Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific. This is something I do on YouTube. The video quality will be a little less than most of my videos as I can't use my HD camera and do live YouTube. So I choose to downgrade the video quality to make sure that you and I can interact. So this really is driven by your questions. So if you ever had a question you wanted to ask me, you wanted to ask another real estate investor, just go ahead and put it in the comments. So far, we've done this, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 weeks in a row. And to date, I've gotten through all the questions. If you ever have the time, you're working out, you want to sit through some other live streams and just listen, there is a playlist on this channel called, I think it's just called Live Q&A. So realize that is there for your disposal. There have been several hundred questions asked by now, probably approaching 500, maybe 600. So lots of questions are there. So take a look. In addition, remember this channel, we do kind of 2 or 3 videos a day. I just did a live stream, daily financial news, try to do those at 7:30 every day. If you like talking about money and investing, need to subscribe. You need to get notified. I'm not here looking for clicks and stimulus videos and all of that. I am here to talk about what's going on in the investment world, what's going on in real estate, consumers, cost of capital. I am here to make a difference in your financial life. Next, I did a live stream. Man, Meet Kevin's been wrong a lot, but I think when he was been wrong before, I could at least see where he was going, right? It was shades of gray. But boy, he put out a video yesterday that really got my goat. So I did a live stream on that here a minute ago, and woof, I've never seen someone be so wrong. It's frightening how wrong he was. But in the end, I'm going to go ahead and go through a series of questions. If I get through this list and there are no live chat questions, I'll just call it a day. If you're one of my students, always remember we do our Facebook Live just for us at 9 a.m. Again, that's where we do the one-on-one or the mentoring. Really like that group. It's getting big, and now students are helping students. It's pretty cool. So first and foremost, just going down some seated questions. 1, what are my thoughts on turnkey providers? So when I get that question, I really want to answer it in 2 parts. First, as I talk about in my book, one of the things I should have done when I started was buy clean properties. Back in 2002, when we bought our first property, there wasn't, or at least I didn't know of, any turnkey providers. Turnkey providers really blew up, grew after the last housing crash. That's where I found them anyway. If they were around before, forgive me, I was not familiar. They certainly were not in Fresno, California, which is my market of choice. That said, again, I should have bought clean. It would have allowed me to leverage my capital better. I've done some rough math, and I probably could have gotten to 12, 13, maybe 14 doors before the last crash. And if you know our story, that's well documented in that book on Amazon and Audible, right at the peak, because we watched the affordability index in our market, we did a bunch of 1031 exchanges. We took all of that equity from our houses and moved it into apartments. We went from 8 to 80. We could have gone from 12 to 120 or 14 to 140. So it was a mistake. I should have bought clean. Now, what about turnkey providers? Well, I believe most investors are doing it wrong. So I just told you I believe turnkey is a great option. I think clean is a good option, especially for busy employees or busy workers. People I talk to, they evaluate the deal, the market, and then the provider in that order. And how do I know that? Well, when I talk to you, you tell me about the deal. It's this cute little 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 19 whatever built, and it's so got such great curb appeal and it's already rented and blah, 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 blah. That's not where you should start. It's not about the deal, at least not yet. You need to tell me about the turnkey provider. You should do some research. There have been plenty of bad actors in the turnkey arena. Anytime there's money involved, folks, you need to be suspect, especially tens of not hundreds of thousands of dollars. You need to do a better job of protecting yourself. So not all turnkey providers, but again, a few bad apples ruins the bunch. So be careful. So what I tell everybody who talks about turnkey is A, I'm a fan. I think it's a great use of capital. B, don't do it deal, city, provider. Do it the reverse. Evaluate, put 80% of your energy in evaluating the provider. And do your hardcore research, right? Get their references and all of that. But shoot, go to Bigger Pockets. Do a wild Google search. See what other reviews are you getting. Everybody has some negative comments and detractors, but figure out how negative. Then take maybe 10, maybe 12%, talk about the city. Do you want to be in that city? Just because you got a referral to a turnkey provider doesn't mean they happen to be in a city that you care about. I mean, don't just go there because. I think you have to personally understand the market. And then the last thing is the deal. And that, again, is what I think people are, they just don't, it's just the reverse. Again, investors call me, they talk to me, they ask me, it's deal, market, provider. It should be provider, market, deal. So hopefully that makes sense. Next up, question I got basically was, and I got this off of Bigger Pockets, how to become a real estate millionaire. That's an interesting concept. I think they're doing a presentation on that next week. Forgive me, I need my coffee. Here's the deal. I actually have a video coming out in about 4 hours, I think, or maybe 5 hours. I've already recorded it. I scheduled it for either noon or 1 o'clock today. It's basically how to become a millionaire. I go through the entire process, but here's the catch. It takes 3 things: focus, daily activities, daily improvement, 1% better every day, and time. You need to do these things, and they need to be for years, if not a decade. What do I teach? I teach focus. Number one thing in my course, if anybody, my students are out there, is focus. Go learn your market. Get micro focused. Next, daily activities, whether it's my course or my 75-day hard challenge, which is absolutely free, and there's a playlist on this channel. There's daily things you should do. You should try to get a little bit better. And then time. Use your time wisely. I like to talk about 10 to 20 minutes a day, not 3 hours a weekend. But more importantly, it's years. It's consistency over time. So, and again, what you'll see in that video later is I go through an entire presentation on how to secure, how to get your properties, move, all those things. So, not only become a millionaire, but potentially a multimillionaire. That video is already recorded. It will come out later today. So continue to ask your questions. I see some questions coming in, but keep loading them up. I've got a couple more seeded ones, and then I will go to the live chats. Again, I am here for you. And of course, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining. I do a really bad job of advertising these things. I just forget, but you can count on them coming every 8 a.m. And of course, if you're watching this, we got 25 people right now. Let's give me a thumbs up. We've only got 7, so that's a bad ratio. And of course, if you like really talking about money investing, you should really subscribe to the channel. I do things to help you get better every day. I create 3-4 live videos a day, and I'm not doing it for the YouTube algorithm. I'm doing it for you. And from what I can see from other YouTube entertainers, they're not doing it for you. They're doing it for clicks. And I'm going to believe that Gary Vee is right. If you do it long enough and consistently enough, you eventually win. But man, seeing these other YouTube entertainers create just bad videos and bad advice is scary. But anyways. Next, what do you think of cheap properties? The number one question I get is, hey, I live in a city that's too expensive. What about city X, Y, or Z? often in the Midwest, sometimes the South. And I say, well, why are you there? The properties are cheap. Let me just say this again. You can go broke buying cheap. Cheap's the wrong answer. You need to learn the area, learn the cities. Trust me, you can go broke buying cheap. I see it all the time. You know how many people have called me up and crying or stressed out because they bought a property in Ohio or Tennessee or Michigan, and suddenly it's not working out very well. Cheap, these double-digit returns that are promised from these people you don't know. I can tell you this, it's very easy to get a double-digit return in Excel. It's ridiculously easy. Real life is different. I'm not against cheap properties. I'm not against the Midwest or the South at all. But I want you to learn your market. Do the research. Spend 90 days. The other thing is we need to be less arrogant. Too often I'm talking to an investor who goes, hey, I'm going to go to this market because it's cheap. And then they tell me like 48 hours later, right? 2 days of research. I found this listing. It's been out there 105 days. I'm going to buy it at asking. I'm like, well, good for you. But don't you think that's a little arrogant? Why do you think that's a good deal if it's been listed 105 days? Can't you appreciate there's probably a couple of good investors in that city that would have snapped it up already if it was truly a good deal? Certainly if it's a great deal. Let's stop being arrogant and let's appreciate that there are outstanding investors all over the country. And today, in 2020, October, almost November of 2020, the hardest thing to do is find a deal online. Owner occupants are buying everything hand over fist. It's why we had 15% appreciation. It's why the video I did on the 15 hottest markets have single day, average listing timeframes, 8-9 days. It's crazy. So just let's respect that there are great investors all over, and let's just not assume that, hey, we've got the magic touch and find a listing that's 105 days old. All right. Next thing. As an investor, I keep telling you it's in my book, it's in my challenge, it's in my course. You need to know what you're looking for. So I want to challenge you to create an elevator pitch. Yes. I was in sales for almost 30 years. You need to have an elevator pitch. The idea is, can you tell somebody you meet in your network in 30 seconds or less what you're looking for? Again, people often think about their network as how many people they know. That is wrong or ass backwards. It's not how many people you know. It's not even how many people know you. It's the final one. How many people know you and what you are looking for? If you want to understand the value of this, look at a video I did yesterday with Anna, REI mom, Kelly. She talked about how her network knew what she was looking for. That network brought her an opportunity to buy 10 townhouses. And she is over the moon excited. She's got it locked up before others had a chance. And she's going to make, I think she said in the video, like 15% cash on cash. Anna is somebody we need to follow. Anna Kelly has a playlist on my channel. She is a wonderful investor. She, as she said in many videos, she worked for AIG and she recently retired and she's doing amazing things. I think Anna probably has almost 30 hours of content on this channel. She has a playlist dedicated just to her. So go look at that. So learn your elevator pitch. Hi, my name is Michael Zuber. I am looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in the Mayfair district. That's a district in Fresno. That is between 12 and 1,400 square feet, single story. Done. Can you do that? I suggest you practice because, again, it's not how many people know you. It's how many people know you and what you are looking for. All right. I guess I got a question for you. I would like to build a free mobile app. I did a video a couple of weeks ago, I think, about time, right? Basically, everybody looks at the sticker price of clothes, shoes, cars, houses, whatever, and they see a dollar amount. I want to create a free mobile app that takes that dollar amount and converts it into time. Like how many hours does it cost you? Because me looking at $100 item costs different than a high school student, right? Because a high school student, maybe it's 10 hours of work. For me, it's 20 minutes. I don't know. But I want to create a free mobile app. So if anybody out there can help me create a free mobile app, or someone, reach out to me in contacts or send me a DM on Instagram. I'd like to get that out there because I think it would be interesting, and I'm willing to pay for it. But again, I want it to be free for folks. So if you know someone, help me out. All right. I guess the last one we'll talk about is real estate diversification. Again, a lot of stock market investors, diversify, diversify, diversify. I get questions ranging from, hey, should I get a single family home in 5 markets, 4 markets, right? How do I diversify my real estate portfolio? For most of you, I don't think that's the right option. Learn your market, find the deals, get some economies of scale. Most of you, you're going to end up getting somewhere between 1 and 10 single family homes. If that's the case and you've picked a market you like and you like to go to and it's all of that, I think economies of scale are important. You get more units, you can ask for a discount from property managers. So I would think that's interesting. If you're like Anna Kelly and you're talking about hundreds, if not thousands of units, then yes, I think diversification is important. But just remember there's scale differences. I think it's a mistake to say, hey, I want to get 1 in Nashville, 1 in Detroit, 1 in Huntsville, and 1 in Dallas. I don't think you get any economies of scale. I don't think you learn the market. I think the only thing you guarantee is one of those markets is going to rip you off, and it's because you just don't have time, right? I talk most often to full-time employees who have family responsibilities, and I just don't think that's the best option. All right. So those are the seeded questions I have. Let me scroll back up here. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. All right. Where are we? Good morning. Good morning. If Meet Kevin thinks the housing market will crash 20% soon, then why is he not selling his portfolio now? Jeffrey, Ultimate Bargains. Great point. My answer is he's in LA and the market's already soft, but that's a different opinion. But yeah, you're right. Jersey Trucker, morning. How you doing? All right. Questions. Hi, Michael. I watched your wholesale video. It really hit home, and I want to adapt and become more valuable to landlords. Okay, cool. Awesome. My idea is to start my own real estate investor newsletter and greet each landlord by asking if they'd like to take part in a survey of investors in the market. Okay. Each time I talk to them in the future, be great for them with the results of the survey and offer a salient point for my investor newsletter as a landlord. Yeah, again, if one thing about landlords, how would you say that? Is that Theo? I don't know how to say that. Theo, I guess. We're very market specific. So again, right, if you were going to send me a newsletter, it would have to be about Fresno, maybe the Central Valley. But if you send me an example about LA or SoCal, or even maybe California in general, probably not as interesting. But yeah, I mean, you have enough information in a newsletter with what's going on in the world that should be interesting. And also it gives you a reason to ask for their email, because I'm guessing you do most of your communication via phone or text. But it would give you an option to ask for their email and say, hey, I'm producing an email. It's monthly or biweekly or whatever it is. Can I have your email and I will send you our latest copy? Anything you could do to increase touch points. The thing that really bothered me about a lot of the wholesalers that I talk to is they all admit it takes 7 to 8 touches to get a deal. So what I'm telling you and what you are catching on to here is you're finding ways to make the first several touches easier, and then you can build on from there. So I like the idea. Yeah, I like the idea. Those are the kind of value creations that are interesting. So I support that. Tamika, good morning and congratulations. Hopefully everybody saw Tamika's video. She wrote, she got her first deal. I think it was in North Carolina, I think. South Carolina? North Carolina? I don't know. One of the Carolinas. Congratulations. Thanks again for these Q&As. You're welcome. Richie Vegas, good morning. How many properties do you have now? A lot. Almost 200. Enough. Tamika, yes, congratulations on your deal. Thank you so much. Awesome. See, these people are so nice. Could you recommend some of your contractors? How do you determine if a relationship would be beneficial to you first meet them? Well, my detector is no better or worse than yours. It often takes several communications. Contractors are, at least for me, the hardest part of this equation. I have worked with dozens of contractors. I probably have 2 or 3 that I would use repeatedly, but I only have one contractor that I've had one contracting team working for, I think we did the math together the other day, 88 weeks straight. I actually have properties that I could rehab sooner, but given that he's going to come off a job, I hold it for him because I want to keep him busy. He does the magic thing on price, on quality, on time. And that's the magic. It takes time, man. I don't know of any way. There's no DNA check. There's no chip implanted in their arm. It just takes time. It's tough. Henderson, 19% deal with that. I don't know what that means. Is that unemployment? Is that appreciation? I'm not sure what that means. Actually, maybe Richie. Yeah. Okay. Congrats. I don't know what that means. Where are we? Okay. McLovin, the Irish R&B singer. I love these names. What are some of the downside hurdles associated with FHA loans? IE. I don't know what IE means. Is that an acronym for something? Interest. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't know. Well, first off, typically FHA loans got to be for owner occupant. They're typically, at least most of the programs people talk about, are very low down. You probably have PMI. It has to appraise. There has to be a condition element. I don't know if they're downside. It's just kind of rules or hurdles, to your point. Hurdles. There you go. The one thing I am watching, because again, I have the luxury of 20 years of this, is FHA dominates the market today. It is getting to the point where FHA buyers could create their own balloon, right? And if it gets big enough and affordability collapses, it could pop and we could see real issues with FHA. The other thing is with FHA is there are price limits, I believe, that are associated by county or by area. Like in Fresno, I think the limit's like 380, but in the Bay Area, it's like 520. So I'm not sure, McLovin, if you want to know more, but that's off the top of my head. If you have other subtle questions, ask below and we'll try to get to them. Better home rental. The question flows nicely with your comments this morning. Why do I need to ID my market and the type of home and stick to my model, become known as specialist for that home? This question flows nicely with your comments this morning. Why do I need to ID my market and the type of home and stick to my model? Oh, okay. I already answered your question. Cool. Awesome. Is it a good time to buy rental properties in Austin? I don't know Austin. I don't know Texas. I don't know 49 states. So I can't tell you. I would tell you to learn their market. I would tell you the thing in Texas to watch for is property taxes. It's reset every year. Look for, I don't know, what's going on in Austin. Is it like San Francisco where companies are saying you can work from home forever? Texas in general is is importing Californians and New York's people from New York. I don't know Austin, but I do know if you learn your market, you can find a good deal anywhere. I don't know. I bet you, I don't know. I just always get in trouble when I do this. I would suspect Austin returns are somewhere around 5% would be my guess for an average deal. But again, that's a wild ass guess. You need to do your homework. You need to learn the market like I talk about and teach. It's good. I don't know. I don't give opinions on markets I don't know because I leave that for Meet Kevin. Let Meet Kevin talk about stuff he doesn't know. Tamika, how do you feel about paying off mortgages quickly? Do you learn more towards debt-free or debt leverage mindset? I have two answers for you here. I believe investors go through two phases. There is the asset accumulation phase, and that's where it starts. For me, that was 12 or 13 years long. In that market, in the asset accumulation phase, never pay off debt. It's not the most effective use of capital. But as you get ready to, at least for me, leave the rat race, leave my job, I started paying stuff off. I started moving debt around. I wanted to create the oh shit pile. I lived through the last crash. I saw how it was unpredictable, severe, and damaging. So I always will have a pile of properties free and clear because I saw what happened last time when debt can get you. But you have to remember, those are two different stages of investing. Most folks are in asset accumulation. I think the worst advice I've ever heard is to try to pay off an investment property before you buy your next. I basically Dave Ramsey. That's the worst advice I've ever heard. But when you're getting ready to retire, I think it's the best advice. I think reducing the monthly financial expenditures is a good thing near the end. Hopefully that works. Oops. I don't mind getting a piece of junk home and earning. Okay, that sounds like a statement, William. Congratulations, you're in the business. William, who can help landlords write up rental agreements and contracts? You can go to a property manager. I'm sure they will give you a template. You could probably go to your actually, you could probably get a template off the internet. Like in California, I would go to California Association of Realtors, CAR. They probably have a template there. But you can also get a contract from a lawyer. I mean, I don't know what state you're in, but yeah, I would get a template for your state, and they're out there. Ultimate Bargains. How's Jimbo? He's good. He was up at 2. So when did we go to bed? We went to bed at 10. He was up at 1:30, 3:30, and 5. So he's unhappy. So I am going on very little sleep. Hence, I keep drinking coffee. But he has medication, so I'll deal with it. But some days are worse than others. Thank you for asking. Tamika, North Carolina. I thought it was North Carolina, but then I got in my own head. I.e. an example. Oh, okay. There we go. Lewis, do conventional loans have to appraise? If they don't appraise, the borrower has to come in for more. Like if you bought a 200 and it appraises for 100, you have to bring in the extra 20. Oh, in your experience. Oh, did I answer the question right? In your experience. See, you guys know all these things. Oh, okay. I did answer it that way. Okay, good. I'm right. In your experience. Got it. Now I know. Appreciation was in the current houses prices by zip code. I think that was the night. Yeah, the night. Okay, cool. Perseverance always pays off. Congratulations. You guys are wonderful. Whaley, do you believe buying a BRRRR or turnkey for first-time investor? Again, every investor is different. Again, as I've documented, and I think I answered in the very beginning, I should have bought turnkey properties back in 2002, but they weren't a thing yet. I should have bought clean. But again, as I said in the beginning, if you missed it, evaluate the provider, then the market, then the deal. Not the deal, the market, the provider. I believe there are a few very bad apples out there, and I worry about them destroying the bunch. So do your homework. But today, with low mortgage rates, I mean, geez, finance the repair cost. It's awesome. Richie Vegas. Wow, that's wealth. Dave has a huge mansion, national. Yeah, of course. It's very, I mean, Richie Vegas, I'm a huge fan of Dave Ramsey, his snowball, his debt pay down, his consumer debt. I think Dave Ramsey deserves all the props in the world. I just think he happens to have one piece of advice, given his history, that is the worst I've ever heard. But, hey, he is much bigger than me, so maybe he's right. But that doesn't make my opinion wrong. It's my opinion. Theo, if using a loan, when do you consider paying points to lower the interest rate on a 30-year loan? If I can get the payback in 2 years or less, usually. Yeah, because again, usually I'm buying something I'm going to hold forever. So if I pay a point and it lowers my expenses so I get the payback in 2 years or less, I'll do that. Thank you. It was difficult in the beginning because I wasn't ready, but buy something. Listening to Michael helped to understand the importance of learning your market first. Yes. Oh, wow. Jersey trucker. If you had $300K in cash in your experience, how would you start investing in homes? Well, the good news is I had 40 grand in cash and it wouldn't matter. The process is the same. Put that cash in a savings or money market account, leave it alone. You're not going to touch it for 90 days. You need to go learn the skill of understanding a market. You need to be able to tell me what average is. And until you know what average is, you're not allowed to write an offer. You're not allowed to spend any money. I know lots of people with 6 figures put aside. All of them want to spend it quickly, where to do, what to do, all of this. You need to respect money. It took you a while to put that together. So go do your goddamn homework, learn your market, learn what average is, and then do good or great deals. If you have 3K, 30K, 300K, or 3 million, my answer is the same. Learn your market. That's it. So hopefully that helps. Did you use the CARES Act to avoid 10%? I think she did, Theo. I think that's what she did, but I let her answer below if she wanted. I'll roll on. What are your thoughts about long-term split rentals, aka rentals by rooms, due to foreseeable increase on rental prices in upcoming quarters in 21? The last thing I would ever do is rent by the room. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine. But realize, again, when I answer that question that way, I don't manage my own stuff. I've never done it also. Being a landlord is dealing with the public, and I could not imagine having 3, 4 adults in one room, people playing their own music, watching their own TV, dirtying up the kitchen. I mean, I couldn't imagine that. Oh my God. Oh, I have enough trouble with month-to-month leases, let alone rooms. Oh, ugh. Not for me. But again, my answers are my experience. I'm sure there are plenty of people renting by the room out there that would call me an idiot. They'd call me old-fashioned, out of touch. Sure, I own that, but that's my opinion. Jersey trucker, you're very welcome. I try. So I think I got to all the questions. Are there any more? Any more questions? Otherwise, we'll just call it a day. All right. Well, it's Halloween. Enjoy the day. If you haven't voted yet, vote. If you don't vote, I don't want to hear you complain. We're going to call this a day. Oh, what are your thoughts on VA loans? We'll do this last question. If you can get them, they're wonderful. Not everybody can. You got to be a veteran. So at the end of the day, have a wonderful day. We'll call this one short, 30 minutes. I need to do a better job of advertising these so we get more questions. I'm sorry. But have a wonderful day. If you're one of my students, 9 o'clock, Facebook Live. Take care. Bye.